Welcome to my channel, Storytime English.
Chapter 1. The Challenge Accepted. Emily had always loved running. Since her school days, she found solace in the rhythmic pounding of her feet against the ground. Now in her mid-30s, Emily faced a new challenge, completing her first marathon. The idea excited and terrified her. She knew it would require more than just physical endurance. It would test her mental strength as well. The miracle isn't that I finished. The miracle is that I had the courage to start. John Bingham. Chapter 2. Setting the Goal. Emily began her training with enthusiasm. She set a strict schedule, incorporating long runs, interval training, and strength workouts. Her family and friends were supportive, though some expressed concern about the toll it might take on her. Emily brushed off their worries, focusing on her goal. She wanted to prove to herself that she could achieve something extraordinary. Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. Tony Robbins. Chapter 3. The First Struggles. The initial weeks of training were grueling. Emily's body ached, and she felt exhausted. There were days when she doubted herself, wondering if she had taken on more than she could handle. She faced injuries, bad weather, and the temptation to skip her runs. Each obstacle tested her resolve, but Emily pushed through, determined not to give up. Strength does not come from physical capacity. It comes from an indomitable will. Mahatma Gandhi. Chapter 4. A Helping Hand. One particularly tough morning, Emily met an experienced marathon runner named Jack at the local park. Jack noticed her struggling and offered some advice. He became her unofficial coach, sharing tips on training, nutrition, and mental preparation. With Jack's guidance, Emily found new motivation and learned how to train smarter, not just harder. A coach is someone who tells you what you don't want to hear, who has you see what you don't want to see, so you can be who you have always known you could be. Tom Landry. Chapter 5. Overcoming Injury. Halfway through her training, Emily faced a setback. She sprained her ankle during a run, forcing her to take a break from training. Frustration and fear of not being able to compete in the marathon loomed over her. Jack reassured her that setbacks were a part of the journey and emphasized the importance of recovery. Emily reluctantly rested, focusing on rehabilitation exercises to heal her ankle. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. T.D. Jakes. Chapter 6. Finding Balance. During her recovery, Emily realized the importance of balance. She started incorporating yoga and meditation into her routine to strengthen her mind and body. These practices helped her stay calm and focused, reducing the stress and anxiety associated with her injury. Emily began to appreciate the holistic approach to her training. Balance is not something you find, it's something you create. Yana Kingsford. Chapter 7. Back on Track. Once her ankle healed, Emily resumed her training with renewed vigor. She gradually increased her mileage, paying close attention to her body to avoid further injury. Jack's support and the mental clarity she gained from yoga helped her stay on track. She felt stronger and more determined than ever. It's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get up. Vince Lombardi. Chapter 8. The Wall. As race day approached, Emily encountered the infamous wall during one of her long runs. Her body felt like it couldn't go on, and her mind screamed for her to stop. This was her most challenging moment yet. She remembered Jack's advice and pushed through, focusing on her breathing and taking it one step at a time. Overcoming this mental barrier was a breakthrough for her. The human spirit is stronger than anything that can happen to it. C.C. Scott. Chapter 9. Race Day. The day of the marathon arrived. Emily stood at the starting line, surrounded by thousands of runners. The energy was palpable. Her family and friends were there to cheer her on, holding signs of encouragement. As the starting gun went off, Emily felt a surge of excitement and nerves. She knew this was the moment she had trained so hard for. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Lao Tzu. Chapter 10. The first half. Emily started strong, keeping a steady pace. The first half of the marathon was exhilarating. She fed off the energy of the crowd and the other runners. Her training paid off as she felt confident and prepared. However, she knew the second half would be the true test of her endurance and mental strength. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Chapter 11. The Struggle. As she passed the halfway mark, fatigue set in. Emily's legs felt heavy, and her pace began to slow. The cheering crowd and her determination kept her going, but each mile felt longer than the last. She reminded herself of all the hard work and sacrifices she had made to get here. When you feel like quitting, think about why you started. Unknown. Chapter 12. The Unexpected Encouragement. Around mile 20, Emily felt like she couldn't continue. Just then, she heard a familiar voice. Jack had come to cheer her on, running alongside her for a few miles. His presence was a huge morale boost, reminding her that she wasn't alone. With his encouragement, Emily found the strength to keep going. Encouragement is the oxygen of the soul. George M. Adams. Chapter 13. The Final Stretch. As she approached the final miles, Emily could see the finish line in the distance. Her body was exhausted, but the sight of the finish line gave her a second wind. The cheers from the crowd grew louder, and she spotted her family waving and cheering her on. Tears of joy and relief filled her eyes. The harder the battle, the sweeter the victory. Le Brun. Chapter 14. Crossing the Finish Line. With one final burst of energy, Emily crossed the finish line. She raised her arms in triumph, overwhelmed by emotion. Her family rushed to embrace her, and Jack gave her a proud nod. Completing the marathon was a monumental achievement, symbolizing not just physical endurance but also mental fortitude and resilience. Success is not the position where you stand, but the direction in which you look. Unknown. Chapter 15. The Aftermath. In the days following the marathon, Emily reflected on her journey. She realized that the marathon was more than just a race. It was a testament to her strength and perseverance. She felt a deep sense of accomplishment and was proud of how far she had come. Emily's story became an inspiration to her friends and family, showing that with determination and support, anything is possible. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow is our doubts of today. Franklin de Roosevelt. Emily's journey teaches us that true strength comes from within. Facing physical and mental challenges head-on, seeking support from mentors, and balancing determination with self-care are crucial in achieving our goals. Overcoming obstacles and setbacks not only builds resilience but also empowers us to inspire others. Every step towards our dreams, no matter how difficult, is a testament to our inner strength and perseverance.
Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.